Caught my wife in a whirlwind of emotions as she sobbed, "I just ended it with him," only to learn days later that her AP still held a grip on her heart. After 12 years together, can I truly compete with a 23-year-old who makes her laugh? Despair is my new normal. I have a significant vent to share, sort of like I bounce around too. I am a 28-year-old male, my wife is a 28-year-old female, and her affair partner is a 23-year-old male. I find myself at a loss for words and emotions. I have known my wife since high school and we have been together for a total of 12 years, approaching 3 years of marriage. We have a 2-year-old daughter. Our families get along exceptionally well, including both siblings and parents, and our friends are all mutual, providing us with a great support system. Over the years, I know I have disappointed her in various aspects related to partying, particularly during college and afterward, as I often put myself first rather than choosing her in certain situations. I believed we had addressed those issues, but she is now reflecting on those events and trying to make a decision about us. We have a wonderful history together. I feel deeply connected to her on a soul level, and I know she is my person. I believe the same is true for her. After the birth of our daughter, she struggled with postpartum issues and was dissatisfied with her job. I encouraged her to find a new position in her field since her current job was only temporary and worked for our parents watching our daughter during the week. It took her little time to find a new position, which she loved instantly. It reawakened her sense of potential. She became so excited, buying new clothes and dressing up for work. I felt immense pride in her renewed energy and how she found a comfortable niche. She began the new job in September and met another man through her work. I was informed that their expressions of affection for each other were not verbalized until December. The day of revelation for me was January 12th when she sat me down and presented a list of the past reasons she held onto. She called me immature, stated she could not connect with me emotionally or intellectually, and felt we were on different wavelengths. We hosted a large New Year party where her affair partner was present. I met him and thanked him for being a helpful coworker and friend to my wife, as she spoke very highly of him. We shook hands, but looking back now, I realized they were side by side all night, which infuriates me. Since that day, I have broken down, made a fool of myself, and felt insecure. I immediately asked if we could attend couples therapy, and she agreed, and we have been attending every 10 days since. I have repeatedly requested that she cease contact with him, but she insists that she does not want to. I discovered various things through snooping, including the fact that she went out of town for a work event where he did not attend, but he transported her to and from the airport despite my offer to take her. They have a shared Spotify playlist, exchange Snapchat and TikTok messages daily, and she has a note on her phone listing all the reasons she likes him, and he has one too. She would vent to him about me, and he was just so supportive and present for her. They watched television shows and movies together while I was occupied, exchanged Christmas and Valentine's gifts, and he held her for 16 minutes in her car when she cried about us during work one day. It hurts deeply that she continued these actions throughout my ongoing suffering. To my knowledge, they have not kissed or engaged in sexual activities yet. I am trying to empathize with her and navigate this situation because I know I have also hurt her in the past with those incidents she reflects upon, so I am attempting to be patient. However, my insecurities would resurface whenever I discovered a note from him or looked at her phone and found evidence. She subsequently changed her phone password, increasing my distress. I would constantly bring it up, seeking explanations and validation, and it became exhausting. This continued through my birthday, and the day before my birthday we decided to separate March 2. It was a terrible birthday, but the agreement was no contact with her affair partner, and I would grant her space so she could take the time to decide. Unfortunately, I did not do well with the no-contact rule, and she maintained contact with him. Thus, the separation became difficult for both of us. I genuinely tried to focus on self-improvement, going to the gym, reading marriage books, hoping that one day she would realize, "That was foolish, I choose you," and we could start our marriage anew. I am unable to sleep, and when I do, I have the most vivid dreams about them. I feel physically uncomfortable. It is unbearable. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I finally felt I reached my limit. I could not trust her in any way and decided to confront her in our next therapy session, demanding a decision. I established boundaries for her at work if she continued at that job, which I want her to leave, but I was willing to accept it if she made specific accommodations regarding her situation there. They do not always work the same shifts, but she has another location where she could go or relocate her office. I felt ready to firmly assert my position. The day before therapy, we planned to go out for dinner and a movie. I returned home from work before her, got ready, and intended to enjoy our night despite everything. I missed her. She returned home in tears and revealed that she had just ended things with her affair partner, not to choose us, but to find clarity for herself. She did not agree to any of my proposed boundaries, so I resolved to put my faith in us once more, hoping she would honor that breakup, even if it was painful. I understood she would grieve him eventually, but witnessing it be about someone else is a sight I hope no spouse has to endure. I sensed she regretted her decision, but I still considered it a small victory. We decided to continue the separation and genuinely attempt to make it work this time. I believed she would stop reaching out to him, so I agreed to remain separated. She also requested to hide her location on her phone, which I had been monitoring closely. It is probably for the best. We aim to focus on ourselves. I finally felt like I would have a chance to demonstrate that I am still here and wish to improve our situation, but she indicated she needed space. This was on April 4. We have tried to spend time together, and we had a good first week afterward, but I sensed she was still distraught and feeling sadness over losing her affair partner. We had some difficult conversations about our relationship during this period, and effectively, she contemplated divorce twice without fully stating it. Yesterday was Easter, and I struggled to maintain my composure. My gut instinct indicated something was off, so I asked her if she had been in contact with her affair partner, and she admitted that she had at work. I shrugged it off and attempted to enjoy the day. On the way to Easter, I noticed her phone log displayed his name, so she lied to me again. I confronted her and demanded she come clean. She had spoken to him daily since April 13, meaning she only lasted 9 days without contact. She knows it is wrong, which makes it even more painful. Our conversation yesterday began with her revealing that she had made her decision to end our marriage prior to my discovering her phone calls. And I essentially begged her, presenting my case about how much I love her, our history together, the impact on our daughter, and how I cannot bear the thought of her affair partner being involved in our daughter's life, though I recognize I do not have control over that. I cannot fathom a life without her, and expressed that I now understand what she needs from me, to which she replied that she believes I can provide that for her. She is simply upset that I did not learn this sooner. I know she loves me and reflects on our history, yet she struggles to make a decision. I have never heard her explicitly say she chooses us. I feel like I expressed my thoughts completely yesterday without overreacting to her ongoing lies. Our conversation concluded without a decision, but she still wants to attend therapy at the end of the week, which indicates that I may have said something that resonated with her this time. I think I have a slim chance left to show her that we can make this work. She is still here, and that matters to me. I am just so saddened by the prospect of divorce because of his influence over her. I would feel much better knowing she ended her relationship with him, allowing us to genuinely try together. If we do not succeed, then we can accept that we made the effort. However, if she immediately resumes communication with him, it will devastate me. I resent that she does not perceive him as I do. She claims they laugh continuously, he listens to her, and although she has not yet admitted to it, I can sense she loves him based on her actions, which disregard me, making it evident she could not follow through with her breakup. She simply sees this amazing person. Her friends dislike him, her friends dislike her, and my family disapproves as well. I view him as a deceitful individual, someone young who has never been in a committed relationship, desperate for attention, living with his parents, and willing to disrupt someone else's life for his gain. My wife is beautiful, and she has acknowledged that she finds me more attractive than him. The mere act of pursuing a married woman is fundamentally wrong. No man should behave that way, especially around my daughter. He claims to be a principled person, yet he is compromising his morals in this situation. I have been tempted to physically confront him on 2 separate occasions. I am typically not a violent person, but my daughter is my priority now, and I refuse to jeopardize anything for her and our relationship. I understand that people will likely advise me to leave her, but I do not want to. I physically cannot. The thought of it is unimaginable. She has been with me for half my life. We have experienced life together, high school, college, travel, living in different states, and we were each other's firsts. It is also incredibly difficult because I cannot rid my mind of images of them being intimate. I know it will happen if she chooses him, if it has not already occurred, and we have not been intimate since November. I just miss her, and it is challenging to come to terms with this new version of her. She has always been the jealous type, confronting me over dreams she had about me being unfaithful. For the record, I have never cheated. I simply wanted to vent here and see if anyone else has experienced something similar where it seemed all hope was lost, yet somehow it worked out. I apologize to anyone who has read this and finds themselves reflecting on their own story. This situation is exceedingly difficult. Story 2. My girlfriend rejected me 3 times, then finally agreed to date, but now her carefree side is gone, leaving me with constant disappointments. You're just not accommodating enough, she says, while I'm exhausted from her selfish ways. Should I let her go? Hello, I am a 23-year-old male, and I have been in a relationship with my 20-year-old female girlfriend for a little over a year. For context, I fell in love with her long before she developed feelings for me. We met through a close friend and grew to have a friendship. I began to have feelings for her a few months after we started knowing each other. I confessed my feelings, but she rejected me twice. The first time she said she wasn't ready for a relationship and did not see me that way. Although it was painful, I accepted her decision and tried to move on. However, since we were in the same friend group, in my opinion, she continued to interact with me in a way that seemed more than what a female friend typically would. I had a strong feeling she harbored some feelings for me. We would text each other for hours daily and video call. Until 2 a.m., I was still trying to get over her during this time. One night we went out as a group and got drunk, and we ended up holding hands and dancing, leading everyone to notice that something was happening between us. The following day, I had another conversation with her regarding her behavior because I clearly had feelings for her, yet she acted as though she had feelings too, despite denying them. Again, she rejected me for the second time. This pattern persisted for several months until it became extremely confusing, prompting me to speak with her for a third time. This time, she finally admitted she had feelings for me and wanted to give our relationship a chance. We have been together since that day. She has been very loving and caring, and we had a wonderful summer together, which I cherish. Recently, however, I have been feeling frustrated with her. I believe she has changed, becoming a bit more selfish and stubborn, leading to frequent arguments between us. This may be partly due to her being in her final year of university and experiencing stress, but I also feel that her behavior is not justified in certain situations. Although I was once madly in love with her, I feel my feelings diminishing due to constant disappointments. We both have our issues. I come from a very traumatic childhood, which may cause some problems to surface during arguments, but I also feel she has numerous issues that are exhausting to navigate. From what I can infer from our most significant arguments, I believe she struggles with empathy. She does not seem to understand what others experience. In my view, she has significant communication problems. She often misinterprets what I say, and I frequently feel unheard. It seems as though she is in her own bubble, then blames me or others for inadequate communication. For instance, one day there was a major winter celebration event in town. My housemates and I live a bit farther away while she resides in town. Given the expected crowds, I chose to take the bus to avoid the hassle of parking. I messaged her about this, and we agreed to meet in town 30 minutes before the celebrations began so that we could be together when the hour struck. However, when my housemates and I tried to take the bus, it was either delayed or canceled. We opted for the train, which took slightly longer and arrived 10 minutes before the start of the festivities. I had no chance to call or message her because we were walking in the rain to catch the train and then to get into town. I texted her upon getting off the train, indicating I would take about 15 minutes to walk to her location. She opened the text but did not reply. I called her several times to ask about her location so that I could meet her, but she ignored my calls, clearly frustrated that I was late. By chance, I finally spotted her in a coffee shop and asked why she had not answered my calls. She admitted she was annoyed with me. We did not arrive together at the official beginning of the celebrations, which was supposed to be a romantic moment to share, all because she was upset that I was not there at the designated time and because I took too long to inform her. We had a significant argument about it, and I was upset and disappointed that she was so focused on timing that she failed to appreciate being together in that moment. It frustrated me that she was so inflexible and rigid. More recently, we have had two major arguments within a week. Last week, I needed her assistance organizing some clothes in my room, a task she had expressed interest in helping me with for some time. I finally felt motivated to do it that day and asked if she could come over later to assist. She said she would see if she could, but she was working on her deadline, which I completely understood. She also suggested that I come to her place so she could help me without straying far from her computer. I declined, stating I preferred to stay home and do it myself. Later that day, around 8 p.m., I wondered if she might be free, so I called her. It turned out she was unexpectedly out for dinner with her housemates. I felt somewhat annoyed for various reasons. Firstly, I had asked for help, and she used work as an excuse only to ignore that and go out instead. Secondly, she often complains to me about not having enough money and is sometimes hesitant to take the bus to visit me when I cannot pick her up, given that I work full-time, often long hours until 11 p.m. or midnight. Yet she managed to go out for dinner with her housemates that day and had previously gone out to the same expensive pizza place 2 days earlier with her friends. To clarify, I have no issue with her going out with friends, but under these circumstances, I felt neglected and hurt. I confronted her about this and she replied, "Oh, I didn't realize you wanted it done today, and I was trying to please two different sides, I couldn't help it." In my opinion, she admitted that she was juggling two commitments, one with me and another with her housemates, but chose the more enjoyable option and also did not seem inclined to take the bus to my place. Additionally, my commitment came first, while her dinner plan was spontaneous. For context, she regularly expresses her dislike of taking the bus to my home because it is costly and cumbersome, even though it typically only takes about 10 to 12 minutes, or less without traffic, and the bus stop is literally in front of my door. She often requests that I drive her home even when I have work commitments, which has nearly caused me to be late before, as I work for an app-based delivery company and am penalized if I am late by as little as 5 minutes. In any case, we had an argument, and I did not want to see her for a few days. She ended up breaking down and wanting to see me, arriving by taxi at midnight. The most recent argument occurred last night when I was working until midnight in a town 40 minutes away from where I live. She texted me, asking if I wanted to stay over that night. I should add that this weekend was the final stretch for her deadlines, and we had previously agreed to remain at our own places until she submitted everything. She mentioned her flatmates were all gone for Easter and expressed that she was lonely and missed me. I informed her that I could not stay the night since I needed to prepare for work the next day and would be finishing late that night. However, I offered to pick her up so she could stay at my place, which would require a detour on my way home. She preferred not to, stating that she wanted to complete her work the next morning. This frustrated me because it seemed that when it suited her, she would request my presence regardless of the implications for me. Even if I had stayed over, she would still need breakfast and want some time in the morning to cuddle, which I enjoy too, of course. I felt she could spend the night at my place where we could enjoy breakfast together the next morning, and then she could take the bus home despite her dislike of doing so as previously mentioned. She is able to work from virtually anywhere with her laptop, but I cannot prepare and cook for work elsewhere. I must be at home. This is the fundamental difference for me. As long as I put in the effort, she wants to see me, but the moment it becomes inconvenient for her, she suddenly does not want to. Oh, I am too tired and I want my own bed tonight, or I need to finish work tomorrow. I questioned her if she had considered that I might be tired after working for 10 hours straight that day and might also want my own bed that night. No aspect of staying over would impede her ability to work the next day. She could leave before I woke up to go home and work if she truly wanted to. I just feel that she does not consider my circumstances. If she needed to work on her deadline, she should not request me to come over. Conversely, if she wanted to see me, she should not lament the necessity to work the following day. She cannot have it both ways. We argued about this and we are currently not speaking. I told her to message me after she submitted her deadline so that we could discuss things. Even though we share a deep love and care for one another, I sense she has two sides, the affectionate, carefree, giggly girlfriend and the rigid, stubborn, inflexible girlfriend. I find her negative side increasingly difficult to tolerate. This behavior does not solely occur when she is facing deadlines. It intermittently manifests throughout our relationship. When she gets an idea in her head, she is unyielding, lacks compromise, and does not see reason. I am beginning to worry that we may not be right for each other after all of this. There is undoubtedly much more to our situation, but every time she disappoints me in this manner, I feel so drained from dealing with it. I need some advice. On the one hand, I genuinely love her and we have discussed long-term plans, including children and marriage. However, I am struggling to cope with her negative traits and I am uncertain if I can continue doing so. Our bond is intense, but our arguments are equally passionate and I am starting to question whether we should separate. What are your thoughts? Any insights would be appreciated. Even if you believe I am in the wrong, I at least want some clarity on this situation. Thank you in advance. TLDR. I am experiencing issues with my girlfriend's stubbornness and inflexibility regarding our daily plans, and I am wondering what steps to take. Story 3. My boyfriend thinks it's no big deal that his new best friend Angela is constantly hugging him and validating his feelings, while I'm left in the dust. I've never felt seen like this, he says, ignoring my pain. Should I confront him or am I overreacting? My boyfriend, 20 years old male, and I, 19 years old female, have been dating for a little over 2 years. We have encountered some issues in our relationship, but I have never experienced actual jealousy until now. Recently, I made a new female friend named Angela. It is important to note that she is a lesbian and has been in a relationship for about 1 month. After we became quite close, I decided to introduce her to my boyfriend. They immediately hit it off and honestly appeared to get along even better than Angela and I do. They share a similar sense of humor, enjoy the same activities, and jokingly tease each other constantly. At first, I shrugged this off and was just happy that they were connecting, but at this point, I am over it. It began with minor red flags, such as my boyfriend mentioning how intense and bossy she is, but it escalated into a form of emotional infidelity. For instance, one evening we were all having dinner together and he began discussing his mental health issues. She immediately focused on him, making unwavering eye contact and asking him probing questions. She insisted that she completely understood him and everything he was saying. I thought it was nice and did not mind too much, but afterwards, he kept mentioning that he had never felt so seen and validated by someone. This hurt a bit, considering that I am his actual girlfriend and have been through some significant experiences with him. There have been several other instances similar to this one where they engage in deep emotional conversations without including me. The next incident occurred at a party. My boyfriend arrived about 30 minutes before it ended to pick me up and take me home. He ended up staying for a while and we were sitting on the couch together. Angela approached and sat next to him, starting to chat. I was not aware of it at the time because I was quite out of it, but throughout the conversation she was leaning on him and grabbing his bicep. I understand she was drunk, but I find her behavior rather disrespectful. He mentioned it the next day, saying that it felt strange to be between two girls leaning on him. I asked if he liked it. He somewhat laughed it off, but it was clear that he enjoyed the attention from females. At another party this past weekend, my boyfriend and I arrived about 2 hours late. Upon entering, Angela and I chatted for a couple of minutes until she left me to talk to my boyfriend. I felt a bit upset but decided to dismiss it and speak with one of my other female friends. From across the room, I saw them laughing and he appeared to be happier than he does around me. I even saw her teasing him playfully a couple of times, getting very close to him. Later that night, when we were in a corner of the room, Angela was in the bathroom feeling unwell. He expressed concern for her, and when she returned and sat on the couch, he went to sit next to her without saying a word to me. In that moment, I felt like crying. Again, I found myself staring at them from across the room, filled with jealousy and anger. Then he started feeling sick and had to go to the bathroom, so I accompanied him. While I was comforting him and giving him water, Angela barged into the bathroom, rushed to him, and began touching his back, urging him to vomit so he could feel better. Her brother intervened and got her out of the bathroom, but I was so frustrated that I told my boyfriend we were leaving right then. Without saying goodbye to her, we departed. The following day, my boyfriend said, "I don't know why, but after we left, I sent Angela this Snapchat. It was a picture of him saved in his chat with a text that read something like, 'I don't know what happened, but I really hope you're okay and not feeling too sick.' This was honestly the final straw for me because I just do not understand why my boyfriend is so concerned about another woman's well-being. He seems to genuinely enjoy her company and cares a lot about her. I hope I do not sound irrational and possessive, but it truly pains me to see my boyfriend so engrossed and concerned for someone who is supposed to be my friend. They continue to send snaps and TikToks back and forth regularly, and I have no idea how to address this or bring it up to him. I even question whether my feelings are valid. Any advice would be appreciated.